Justin Fromer, Commercial Dispatch. For any of you girls, just day after the big win, what's from yesterday? Just what's the feeling like in the locker room heading into tomorrow's game against Creighton?
Obviously, we're very excited just getting our first one, especially for Coach Sam as a first-year head coach. But we're just excited to keep on going day by day. We're ready to get ready for our next opponent. So, yeah.
Debrisha, is there any advantage in terms of I mean, obviously all the teams have been practicing here, but having a game already under your belt and having a win already under your belt heading into Creighton, who's coming into this maybe a little bit cold, is there any advantage to that?
I do say yes, it is. We're here now. We've been here. We're warmed up for sure. So I do think it is an advantage.
For any of you, what parts of yesterday's win do you think can translate into tomorrow's game and possibly even beyond that into Sunday, if you were to get there?
Defense and rebounding. Definitely, I feel like, especially in the third quarter when we came back after the first half, the third quarter really took that lead. Like, when we took that lead, it was kind of over after that. I rebounded him as well. So, yeah.
Last one for me, Courtney. Just for you guys having a dominant post player like Jessica. Just how, I guess, big is that in terms of what other people around her can do and for the offense?
It's very big. I think Jess makes the game a lot easier for the rest of us. She draws in a lot of defensive presence, and then she's very good at kicking the ball out to open people. So just having her being dominant and makes it a lot easier for everyone else.
Andrew Mentok, Associated Press. I'm wondering, having just one last night, obviously you haven't had practice yet, but you're only going to have a short period of time to prepare for your next opponent. How do you kind of get in that mindset knowing you just, kind of kept your season alive last night and now you're going into, a brand new team?
Yeah. I'll just say coming in, resetting, refocusing, make sure we stay locked in, focusing on the little things, and just keeping each other accountable as we start practice today.
With Alana not having a great game yesterday, obviously going scoreless, I'm curious, what other ways do you see her, especially in that third quarter, affect the game in other ways when she's not able to score?
Alana does a lot more than score. Her defensive presence kind of shifted the game. She was part of that first crew in the third quarter that kind of really opened up the game for us. So she also does a great job distributing the ball and being a leader out there. So she can do a lot of things other than scoring for us.
Justin from Commercial Dispatch. Sam, is it possible to walk us through those first couple hours after last night's win, just what you did when you got back to the hotel and all that?
Well, first, I want to dance with somebody. If you saw the video, we're excited. The biggest thing you want as a coach is to have your players having fun. Because, again, I think you got to reflect back on the year. And I've talked about this. It was a team that we put on paper that our coaching staff knew we had something special. And you got to love the media. I love each one of you. But sometimes we use it for motivation. It came out, first 4 out, Charlie Cream, you're not in. Then you go through the year. We never received one AP top 20 vote. Not mentioned, nothing. This team's just been a team that nobody talks about. And then you get to the end. You're the first 4 out. You're not going to make it. It just kept going and kept going. But you know what the best part was? Those young women in that locker room, they believed in each other. And that's all you can ask for. And then you come out today. I've joked on the side. I've got a new Talk to Me Nice list that I would like to mention today. All right, because I like to have fun. Charlie Cream is my guy. And I've mentioned Talk to Me Nice Charlie as we try to get in that dance. And I've actually reached out to him. He was great. He had fun with it. But then I've read today we've got some new people that are not believing in the Bulldogs. All right, we've got Candace Parker, who did not put us in the bracket. President Biden, all right, did not put us in. Asia Wilson and Barack Obama. Now, Barack, I know you from Illinois, but you a girl dad. So I'm asking for your vote in the future, all right? But, again, we're having a ball with all this. We're having a ball with people not believing us. But, again, it comes down to those young women in that locker room believing in each other. So to answer your question, when we won that game, it was just a great moment that we could enjoy together.
From last night's win, what kind of things do you feel like can translate into tomorrow's game against Creighton, and then what kind of adjustments after rewatching or looking over the stat?
Woo, how much time we got? Listen, Coach Flannery is unbelievable coach. Here's the matchup with this game. I thought it was two cool storylines. The first one was us opening up women's basketball, two new coaches at their programs. I thought it was a great game for women's basketball to open up on a national stage, playing their hearts out. Unfortunately, only one team could win that game. This storyline is Creighton's got that DNA. They've got that sauce. They've got that special group, who made that Elite Eight run, who were young, and they all returned. They know how to play each other. They're the kind of team that I think if you did a poll as a coach and you said, hey, I'm going to give you 10 questions that you're going to write down, and I want you to fill this answer out about your teammate, they're probably going 9 for 10. They know each other that well. And I've talked to our people and media over this year. They're like, well, why'd you play bad this game? Or why do we perform this way? And it's because it's hard. We're new. We're learning each other. We are learning where they love the ball. We're learning what makes us click and also what makes us mad. And we're trying to create that DNA really quick. And so we're going to really need it to be on point for all 4 quarters if we want a chance against this team.
Ncaa, Associated Press. Kind of building off that, how do you prepare for such an experienced team on such short notice, especially coming off of a high like last night?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I got to continue that high. I don't want to put too much on them. Sometimes I mentioned this earlier in the year when we went in that little stretch. It was on me. I was overcoaching this team. I've got great players who are enjoying basketball, and sometimes if you have those 2 ingredients, don't mess that up. Don't overthink it. Let these young women go out and do what they do best. They'll figure it out. We've played enough games, and we play in one of the toughest conferences in the country, that whatever's thrown at them, I promise you it's not the first time they've seen it. And then today's got to be short and sweet. We exerted a lot of energy because, again, credit to Illinois. They made us work for everything. I've got some tired bodies, so we got to be smart about how we go today's shoot-around. This is more of a mental scout, which is scary because what they do on film is like the Golden State Warriors of men's basketball. Again, I can't say enough great thing about how they play the game. They pass, they cut, they play together as a team, and most importantly, again, they have DNA where they make passes that they know where they're going to be in tough moments. So we just got to go out and find a way like we've done all year.
From a coach's perspective, I'm curious on if you believe there's any advantage to coming into a game like this with a win already under your belt in the Ncaa tournament compared to Creighton, who's coming in cold into the tournament.
100%, because where I'm going to reference this one at was the SEC tournament we just played in. I talked about it before we played Texas A&M. They played Vandy the day before. We're sitting around watching, and guess what? We come out and we got beat. So I think it is good. I also like to say a shout out again to Purcell Pavilion. Maybe a little luck of the Purcells could go our way too here. And then this beautiful campus here at Notre Dame. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I really mean this. Me and my wife have gone to church and touched down Jesus every time we walk by. So we're just enjoying all this brings and, being here and just embracing this cool community that loves women's basketball. And again, I want to give another shout out to the Notre Dame fans. Obviously, your team will be playing on the same day as ours, but I would love for you to stick around. And if you're trying to decide on what team to choose for, this is Sam Purcell, the head coach of Mississippi State, asking for your attendance and your cheers. And I do approve this message.
You've known and coached Alana for a while. I'm just curious, in the past, how have you seen her respond to games where she has maybe had an off night or even scoreless like she was yesterday?
Yeah, I don't really, it's funny because I heard somebody else ask me that. I don't think she had an off night last night. She just got in foul trouble. And again, what makes a special team and a special person is how you respond when adversity hits. She got 2 tough ones in a game that she was dying to play in. This is her last ride. So when you get in that situation, any young woman from 18 to 22, your first mindset is, oh no, that's minutes I could be playing in my last game, right? But instead of that mindset, she was like, oh no, but I'm going to pass the baton, and the next person who check in for me, don't drop the ball. Keep this thing going because we're going to win this game. And her spirit and her energy was as good as anything that could be in a box score.
Without giving away any specific aspects of your game plan, you have the one advantage you definitely have is this size over them. What are some ways you really hope to see your team take advantage of that?
You know what? Again, you've got to be willing to stay. It's not so much size. They do a great job of passing, cutting, moving without the ball. All 5 people can shoot it. Their center can bring it up and run sets. It's truly something very unique. And again, it's a credit to them. They have, again, just I keep referencing that DNA. So for me, it's going to be the eye test. I got to see my team talking. I got to see my team giving multiple efforts, but most importantly, they're going to make big-time shots. They have some of the quickest releases. They cut without the ball. So you got to be willing to understand that when they make a big play that you salute that, because you got to tip the hat because they're really good, and we understand that coming in the game. But at the same time, can you give your next best effort when we come back to the floor so it doesn't happen again?